All right, good evening, everyone. This is Brian, and I think we also have Forex Joe here with us tonight. This is our Monday night session. This is usually our quick session. Uh, as some people like to say, we're in the door, out the door. What we're going to be doing tonight is going through our daily report and well, do a couple of things actually. We're going to kick it off by going through the Forex alert the Forex Show puts out and showing how we utilize our software to park some trades. So we'll do that on two currency pairs. And then from there, we'll pop over to the daily report, have a look through the daily report, and identify some of the key channels that we'll want to watch for the remainder of this trading week. Now, today's been a very, very flat day. Not a whole lot going on, really no action. I think the euro actually moved about every bit of about 35 pips for the day. Very tight range on all the currency pairs across the board. Before we get into talking about trading, I do need to let you know that unique experiences and past performances do not guarantee future results. I think everybody here on the call knows that trading does involve risk. It's speculative in nature, and obviously there's the chance of losing your money. We want to make sure that you get the right training so that you don't, but there's always that chance. So we should always be working with risk capital. I'm going to pause for just a second, give you an opportunity to read through that, and then we'll get started with our session. All right, so that's long enough for that. Let's go ahead and get that off there. I know most of you guys that are on have that memorized already. All right, so what's happening today? Well, I think we already mentioned that it's been just a dead day. We didn't see much going on at all. This euro chopped around top to bottom. We're looking at 37 pips, really due to that spike. If it hadn't been for that spike, it would have been a 30 pip range for the day. So yeah, not much action at all on that euro. As a matter of fact, when you guys pop over to Forex Joe's report, and it's just kind of a sleeper, which is odd. You'd think that we might have seen some more movement coming into non-farm payroll, but I guess we came through summertime blues, exited that right into a U.S. government shutdown, and now this is really our first major news announcement since there, and we'll see if it kicks things off and gets things moving for us, gives us some sort of a trend. That'll be tomorrow morning. We typically have our Tuesday morning class, but tomorrow that is being eclipsed by a special non-farm payroll session that was rescheduled from October 4th to tomorrow morning. So big stuff there. So here we go. Looking through our trading day. Typically, when you're starting things off and you have access to the Forex alerts in the daily report, the place you'll want to start is by logging into your members area and going into your Forex alert. And each day, the latest alert pops right up. It's a very top entry there. Pops up, and you can scroll through and read all of Forex Joe's expert analysis on what's been happening in the marketplace and what expectations might be. And as you read through that, we always have some trades for you that are Forex Joe's hand-picked trades. And from what we have here, we're able to see that we have an experienced trade and our regular scalping trade for the Euro USD currency pair. We also will typically see that on the pound USD as well as the US yen. Sometimes we have others. Today we've got a US Swiss recommendation as well as the Aussie USD. So you can read through all of those. What we're going to be doing today is showing you how we utilize this trade alert along with our software to enter the trades and park these trades. So scrolling through, you guys should all read this. This is always good information. Today may be a little bit lighter than usual, but always read through this because there's always some very, very valuable information here. But we're going to skip that, and I'm just going to get you right to the meat of things so we can show how to use the software. So we always see down here whenever Forex Joe gives us a trade, especially for these scalp trades, he gives us a buy and a sell. And that's because we don't really know. We don't know what the market's going to do. We have to, take what the market gives us, and we don't know if that's going to be if the market's going to move up or down. So we always like to look at playing both sides of that coin, and sort of do that. We see that we have a scalper's buy at 36.90, and we have a scalper sell at 36.64. So what we'll do in order to use this to enter these trades is we would pop over to our chart, pull up a Euro USD chart, and set your template to one of the one of the templates that's loaded in when you first install your trading console. And when you do that, you'll see that you've got a pending order software, market order software, FTT pending, FTT market. We're going to use the pending order software because we want to enter trades that might trigger later on. We don't want to get into a market order right this second. And so what we're doing here is where the market's currently trading at 36.74. And what we'll do is we're going to use you'll see when you load your software, you see green lines and red lines. So we'll simply move our green lines for the buy, and we'll move the red lines for the sell entries. So to do that, we would just grab our green line and we would move that to 36.90. Now there's a couple of ways to move it. You can either eyeball it like we're doing right now, just kind of move that up to the 36.90 area. It's at 36.86. You can see when you hover over these lines, they'll give you a little tag that pops up and tells you where it is. You can also see that here to the right hand side as to where your entry point is. And so we would simply grab our light green lines for our take profit lines and move those to where we'd like to have them. Now typically Forex Joe recommends that we look to take profit 5 to 8 pips for take profit 1 and then 8 to 12 pips for take profit 2 when we're parking these trades and scalping. Now if you're trading this under live conditions, you might be able to stretch out take profit 2 a little bit further. It all depends on what's happening at that current time based on your analysis of the market. But if we're just going to park these trades, which is what we're going to do here, if we're just going to park the trade and walk away, then we want to keep that fairly tight and ensure that we're not having a huge amount of risk on that. Now the same thing goes for our stop loss. If we're going to risk 8 pips if we're going to look to take profit after 7 or 8 pips, we don't want to risk 30 pips to make that. So we would move our stop loss, which is the thin green line, up to maybe a 8 pip spread or 7 or 8 pip spread here. Once we get our lines all where we want them, so we have our entry point, our take profit 1, our take profit 2. Once we have those areas established and identified, we would just simply click move to buy. So you click it, you select it, and you move it. You just simply left click and drag it over, and when you release, it will trigger a pending order entry for you based on where everything is located here. Now it might take it a second. When the markets are super slow like they are right now, it might take a little while to click over and get us ticked in. So while we're waiting on this to go, we will go ahead and move our sell lines as well so we can get those going and see what happens there. So then we have a sell at 36.64. So to get that one aligned, we would just simply move our red lines, which are our sell lines, down to 36.64. And again, you can either eyeball it like I'm doing right here, or you can right click and go to trendline properties and enter it here, 36.64 and 36.64. Click OK, and it'll enter exactly to that number where you've got it identified. And then same thing here. We'll move our take profit line. So again, the kind of orange colored lines, kind of going along with the color scheme here. For green is buy, red is sell. We just move those to where we'd like to have them, and once they're in place, we just simply click move to sell. I don't know why that's not ticking over for us. Never had to wait this long to get an order in. There it goes. Took them a minute. When the market's super slow, we have to wait for a few ticks over before this this is picked up and it moves back for us. So it's just kind of coming out of a very, very slow day into even a slower evening right now. So we'll give that just a minute, it ought to tick over and get us in here. While we're waiting for that to tick over and get our sell order entered, you notice I was moving around my price bars here. If you've got something that's kind of off the chart, for example, you know, if we're entering our, we've got our sell identified here, or take profit 1, but then take profit 2, we can't see it. It's off the chart. In order to see, in order to get down to that other line, all you have to do is grab your vertical scale here, your price ladder, and if you click and drag it, you can compress the chart, show you some more real estate, and from there you can get the other take profit bar and move that to an area you might be able to see on your chart, so you can move it to the location of your choosing. So sometimes these will get hidden, you know, depending on how they're spread out or how the market's been. And so if you don't see your order lines on the chart, it might just be because they're off, and you can just simply scrunch it up to find out where they are. Oops, did not mean to do that. Grabbed a piece of this that I did not want to move. All right, so that's on, that's going, pretty darn easy to do. Now, the next thing we have here is we also have on our Euro USD as an experienced trader trade. Oh, no, one thing real quickly, just to another caveat back here before I move on to this. Forex Show always lets us know these buys, these sells, sometimes we'll see price move there and stall out that very first time during the Asian session. And so I encourage you guys to park these trades, but park them at different times of night and just see what's working best for you. Typically, you know, we see these trades best if they're perform best if they're parked later in the evening, you know, getting closer to that London Open, because often, you know, after this report comes out, you know, the report comes out kind of as we're rolling into the, you know, Australia, New Zealand markets, and you know, it's a pretty quiet time. You'll see price pop around quite a bit, and then as we come into Tokyo, sometimes you'll see a spike up or a spike down with a reversal back to where we opened, and then it starts to run as it gets near the London session. So just keep that in mind. Sometimes you'll see these trades move right to one of these numbers in reverse, and then pull back up there as we get, or down there, you know, as we get closer to that London Open. So just be aware of that. It's a good idea, you know, in your practice account to park these trades, but park them, you know, different times of night, and just, you know, if you're planning to park it and let them go, try different times and see which one's working best for you, and make sure that you kind of get your trade plan designed around that. Now, next up, Forex Show has an experienced trader trade. For me, I find that these are typically best executed if you're live in the marketplace, because what we're looking for is for price to move up to 37.10, 37.20, and then reverse, and we're going to sell it at 36.99. Now, the reason I say typically best executed if we're trading live, now this is only a 20 pip spread, but sometimes we see these, you know, with 30 pip spreads or higher, because we're currently trading down here at, you know, 36.73. So if we wanted to enter a sell order here at 36.99, we would have to have our stop loss well beyond 36.20 in order to give this the opportunity to breathe up to this level before it reversed. So if you're going to enter the experienced trade and just park a trade, keep in mind that you'd have to have your stop loss beyond this, so you'd be risking, you know, 25, 26 pips on this trade. So just keep that in mind, because that's going to be a little bit higher risk than you might normally have under a live market condition. But if you did want to place that trade, we would place it the exact same way if you wanted to park it and walk away. You know, we already have a trade on here, so we can't add it to the same chart because we have a buy and a sell that are already utilized. So we would have to open up a new Euro USD window, and from here you could you know, apply your template. And once your template's applied, then you could go and enter this experienced trader trade. So again, using the same methods, we would simply grab our red lines, which will appear in just a second. Just like we had to wait a second for the trades to be entered, we have to wait for a few ticks over of the marketplace in order to give us our trading tools for those to fully load. So market's moving really slow right now, so it's taking some time for us to get those tools loaded in. But ultimately, in order to execute this trade, here we go. We just grab our sell lines. We'd move those to 36.99. So we're going to use our buy entry, our sell entry right down here. Grab this guy, move it to 36.99. Again, you can either eyeball it like I'm doing right here, or if you want to be exactly on the money, you can right-click on it, go to Trendline Properties, and then here for our stop loss, we just have to be beyond 37.20, which is what we were seeing from Forex Joe's report. He said, let this breathe. We need to possibly let it move up to 37.10, 37.20, and reverse. So in order to take this trade, if we're going to park this trade, we would have to have our order entry here at 36.99, and we have to keep our stop loss out of the way so that we could let this move up, breathe up before it reversed potentially. Now, will it go that high? Maybe. Would it just keep going beyond there? Well, again, maybe. We don't know. That's why we're always going to trade with the stop loss. But we do have to give it room because we're expecting it to move to that level and reverse. And that's why I typically like to take these trades live so we can actually see that reversal occurring and then get into the trade. But if we're going to park it, you would move your sell order here, keep your stop loss out of the way, and then we need to park our take profit 1, at 20 plus pips, 20 pips around there, and then take profit 2 a little further down. And voila, we move to sell, and we'd have that order parked for us as well. That's the experienced trader trade. So pretty easy to do, and we can do the same thing again for the pound USD. Again, we have a scalper's buy, a scalper's sell, and so in order to enter these trades, again, we would just simply load up our pending trader software, pending trade software, and let her go. Just exactly the same method. So we've got a buy at 61.60, a sell at 61.34, and just pop over to that pound USD chart. Takes us just a second to enter these trades in. We have a buy at 61.60. So again, we can eyeball it, or you can, if you want to be right on the money, you can right-click and put that on there. But I'm just going to eyeball these trades. For these scalper trades, we're not looking for a huge run. We're just trying to get 5 to 8 pips on take profit 1. Where's my stop loss? Hiding out over there. All right, get that one set. Do the same for our sell side down here at 61.37. 61.34, my bad. It's pretty much right where we're trading. Might not let us enter this sell since we're currently trading right at where we'd be entering the market. But at any rate, we get these lines. We move our buy lines to where we have them outlined on the Forex Joe's report. We move our sell lines there for the scalper sell. And if you want to activate them both at the same time, we just simply move to buy and sell, and it'll take a few ticks over of the marketplace, and we're in. So there we have those trades parked, pending trades on the board, ready to go. Now, same thing here. Forex Joe has an experienced trade. Actually, there's not an experienced trade this session. So we need a bit more of a surprise to get us out of our current range. So be sure to read through this report, and we can do this on all the pairs that Forex Joe has identified for you here. And just takes a second to go through these and park that trade. It took us every bit of 2 minutes to get that parked and into the marketplace. So now keep in mind, once the trade is on, the software does everything for us. So we know what our maximum risk is going into this trade. You know, we know our maximum risk is the difference between our entry price and our stop loss. The cool thing here is if price moves in our direction, goes to take profit 1, the second price touches this level, the software automatically peels off 1/3 of your trade. So you take profit 1, it takes 1/3 of the trade and locks in your profit, and then from there it actually moves your stop loss to break even +1 to ensure that we have a risk-free trade going forward. So pretty cool way to trade. The software, in order for it to work, the system has to be running. So what that means is, you know, if you have a laptop, you can't have it closed. If you've got a computer that's a desktop computer, it can't go to sleep. If you have a laptop, it can't go to sleep. The computer has to be actively running. You can shut your display down, but the computer itself has to be active in order for that to work. If the computer's asleep, then it won't know that this is hit, and it won't move your stop loss up for you as well. So, you know, the computer has to be going to make those things happen. So that is how we use the software, how that's done. Pretty darn easy, pretty quick. And again, so we've got the templates here of the the fast track trader templates to put the thermal grids on here for you. So you've got a market order or a pending order software that we can use for that. We've also got the just the regular pending order pro, which doesn't have the sessions or the grid, so that might be a little bit cleaner look. Depends on what you'd prefer to have on your charts. So those are both available to you there. They do the exact same thing. From here, we like to typically pop over now and have a look at Forex Show's daily report. So once you've gone through, you've read through Forex Show's expert analysis as commentary for the alerts. The next thing that we do is we pop over to our daily report, and this comes out every single day, every single evening, along with our alert from Forex Joe, and this covers 22 currency pairs. So we generate this on 22 currency pairs. It shows us all the information that we need about this currency pair. It gives us our channel information, short-term, mid-term, long-term channel. It tells us our trading range, what our support and resistance numbers are, what the dominant trend is, and also even generates some potential trades automatically. Now these are computer generated. These aren't going to be the same as Forex Joe's recommended trades that he's putting out in the alert. Also, we have our trend report showing us if we've been positive, negative, or even on each currency pair over the last 4 weeks. So really very comprehensive report, gives us a lot of information. What we're going to do with it tonight, and what we typically do on Sunday night or Monday night, is we use this to look at our channel tops and channel bottoms and see if there's a number that has been repeating on the midterm, short-term, and short-term, midterm, and long-term levels. That'd be an area that we really want to watch, want to keep an eye on, because typically when we see a level of support or a level of resistance setting up and being confirmed on all 3 levels, it's going to be a very strong area for us. So we'll typically see that number multiple times over the course of a week. Even if we're in a trending market, sometimes we'll see that number multiple times over the course of a week. Because as we know from basic support and resistance trading, if you've got a significant level of support or a significant level of resistance and it's broken, price will typically come back and retest that at least once before it moves on. So that's what we're going to do now. It just takes us a second to pull this up and scan through the marketplace and see what we can find. Now, we utilize this report a little bit differently when we're in our live sessions in the morning and we're trading under live market conditions, and we'll get into that tomorrow during non-farm payroll. So we'll be utilizing this report in conjunction with the non-farm payroll release to find some trades under live conditions. But what we want to do right now is just set ourselves up and identify the areas, the channels that we'll really want to watch for the remainder of the week. So it just takes us a second to scroll through here. We have a look here at the Euro USD. We see a 2 of 3 channel here at 33.29, but that's not a number that's really in play right now. So we typically start here at the daily level and then work our way up to the midterm and then the long term. So we don't see any agreement here on the Euro USD. Scrolling down to the Pound USD, again 60.44, but nothing really close right now. So we see a significant 2 of 3 channel here, 60.44, but I'm looking for 3 of 3 channels right now as you scroll through the report. So nothing here on the Pound USD. Scrolling on down, just looking real quickly, US Swissy, we see some agreement here, 2 of 3 channel. 2 of 3 channels are pretty strong, but I'm looking for the 3 of 3, the big channels, the big solid areas of support or resistance that we should see over the course of the trading week. So so don't discount the 2 of 3 channels, but I usually look for Monday night or Sunday night to identify my 3 of 3 channels. So that's what we're just scrolling through and seeing what we find. Sometimes we see a whole bunch. Sometimes we just find a handful, and that might be the case today. So it's just part of our weekly analysis to see what we've got. So it just takes us a second. All of these things, that's the cool thing with this trading methodology from Forex Joe is we just have to spend a couple of minutes gathering data, and then we can go in and place our trades. It doesn't take us a long time to do it. It just takes us a couple minutes. Everything's already spelled out for us. The work's pretty much done. We just need to spend a couple of minutes looking at the data, putting it together, and then making our trading decisions. And here we go. So the Aussie yen, we see one lining up here. Short-term, mid-term, and a long-term channel top at 95.04. So if this is a currency pair that you trade, this would be a great spot to look for a potential reversal. The way that we use these numbers initially, anyway, is if we're trading below, if we're trading below one of these levels, like when this came out, the price here on the Aussie yen was 94.74. So about 2 hours ago when this was released, we were trading at 94.74. So what we would do when we see a 3 of 3 channel like this, since we're trading below it, our first inclination is going to be, hey, let's park a sell at 95.04. So if price pushes up, because this is a significant area of resistance, we would expect it the first time to bounce off of that. So we'd set our sell there at 95.04. We might put a 5 to 8 pip take profit 1 in there and see if we can't snag some pips on it. And then depending on what's happening under live market conditions, we can make the determination, do we want to continue to play a sell off of that, or if it's breaking through, then we let it break and then buy it on a retest. But typically when we're starting out below a big area like this, when it moves to it, we always look for a bounce the first time. So that's how we utilize these 3 of 3 channels. So we see one here on the Aussie yen. Scrolling on down, what else do we see? Swiss yen, we see a 3 of 3 channel setting up here. So if that's a currency pair you trade, you might want to mark that on your charts. Same here on the Aussie CAD. We're seeing a 3 of 3 channel setting up at 98.92. So if this is a channel bottom down here. So if this is a currency pair you trade, you might be really watching 98.92 for potential bounce the first time and looking for buys off of that. It just depends on what's happening under live conditions, but might be a good area to watch. At least mark your charts for it. If you're not going to trade tonight, wait for that and see what happens after the announcement tomorrow and see if these are areas that we can take trades from. So good idea just to mark them on your charts if those are currency pairs you're trading. Swiss, the pound Swiss here, seeing the 3 of 3 channel lining up. And looks like that might be it. Oh, one more, pound odd, seeing a 3 of 3 channel down here. Yep, and that's it. So just looks like we had about 5 out of 22. We're lining up at 3 of 3 channels. But if those are currency pairs that you're trading, you'll want to pop over to your, take that information, go over to your chart, and mark that key area on your chart. Maybe color code it red, make it a thicker line, just so that when price gets there, that's a level that you want to keep an eye on and potentially trade from. So you know, definitely mark those areas on your charts and be prepared when the price gets there. Again, you know, we always look for a bounce the very first time it gets there, and then we have to make a determination under live condition if we're going to keep playing, you know, the bounce, or if we're going to look for, you know, a break and a retest of that area. And we'll get into more of that as we get into live trading and analyzing current market conditions tomorrow morning after non-farm payroll, really during non-farm payroll and the announcement. So that's what I've got for now. You guys have any questions about what I did? It looks like the folks that are on tonight are kind of our experienced crew. I do see a couple of new names that might be just starting out with us. So if you have any questions about the software or how we utilize that with the daily reports, please put them in. Let me know. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and, as we always do on Monday nights, we'll keep the session short. Let you guys get back to your families, get back to what you're doing for the evening, get some rest, because tomorrow is a big day for us with non-farm payroll. We'll be kicking things off at 8 a.m. Eastern, which is 7 a.m. Central Time, so it'll be a nice early morning for us, and the announcement occurs at 8:30 Eastern. So we've got about 30 minutes. Forex Joe is going to run through what his expectations are. Previous reports, just give his expert analysis, and then as the announcement comes out, we'll go through and do our regular analysis on the market utilizing our daily regimen for live trading and going through how we use the daily report under live conditions to identify levels to trade from and place some trades. So as we do that analysis, it'll take us 15-20 minutes, and that should give the market enough time to calm down, and then from there we can find some good trades to take for the remainder of the day. So that is the plan for tomorrow. Forex Joe, anything you'd like to add before we wrap it up? All right, so yeah, he's just typing in, be ready for the morning. So yeah, let's go ahead and wrap it up, everyone. Then we'll be cognizant of your time while we're here. You get back to the important things, which is you know, family, and we will see you guys in the morning. Have a great day, have a great evening, and we'll talk to you soon.